seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a run with Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Set 90 Wolf. Target.
From the gun, Costello. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Back to throw, Costello. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This is fielded at the 7. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Lions will take over. The drive starts with a give to Spiller. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Spiller. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Right here.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
Under 10, 10. Check 3, 25, check 25.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Off the play fake. Costello. He's going to air one out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Looking to throw. Costello. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And this will be taken at the 13. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw, and that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
50's the mic. Watch the run, watch the run. Deuce. Look at me. Zipper. On the
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Being chased out left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, Costello. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
On the ready.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now Cook. Cook with a 1st down and much more. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. That one good for 33 and a 1st. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Go. 56 is the mic. 56 is the mic. Hey, they scared. They scared. Let's go.
Back to throw. Costello. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Extra point from McManus is good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Spiller. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give it
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
X3, 218, deep grip.
A give to Cook out of the gun. 2nd and 10. 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 2nd A sizable gain there of 9 yards, but it's still 3rd and long.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They'll give to Spiller, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
14, Vikings 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brings up 56. Mike's 56. Let's go, Heavy.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's able to find Diggs. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Costello. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A final shot before break. Costello, he's going to wind up and air it out. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Jim,
They'll go again with Bell. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 70 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the...
It's a foot race. He's at the 40, the 20, 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, 77 yards. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
We got this.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. But not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo. Didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big pickup of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, wahoo!
Operating from the gun, Costello. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Costello. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 27. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
on first down. It's Bell. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check three. Alert three. Let it go.
On play action, they'll throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
First down, Lions.
Here we go. What's that? Put your runner. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey, 4 down. I got you, 88. I got you.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
At the 15-yard line.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Tight end right.
Here's Spiller. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, it's Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. CD, put on your OC cap here. What do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option.
They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
You got tight. You got tight.
They run the counter. It's Taylor. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half. Now, a loose football. The ball comes out. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Come on, D. He's
They'll run on first down. Bell. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10 toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been very good. 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Will Harris. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing him.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They'll look to throw here. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. He'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more.
52, Vikings 14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
70, Indy. Kill. Greystone, travel. Watch twist. Five.
Looking to throw. Costello. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point from McManus is good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
The end result, 21 yards. They'll run with Cook, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead is down to 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They run with Spiller. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
They don't want it. Keep playing the hard stuff all day. Woo! Let's get it.
Tonight's final score, Lions.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So
Summer,